welcome to my world. Welcome to the world of Ebony Gant. I am Mrs. Ebony Gant, serial entrepreneur of both home care agencies and home health agencies. I have a master's degree in business with an undergrad in health administration. So I'm sure many of you have probably listened to my previous videos about marketing. And I've broken it down into 4 simple steps. Well, today we're going to learn the 4th step. But before we do that, let's talk about the previous 3 steps. So step 1 when marketing your new agency or trying to even scale your business is going to be consider what services it is that you are wanting to sell. Once you figure out what services you are wanting to sell, then you need to figure out, okay, I know my services, what price am I going to price these services at? So I have companion care, homemaker care, attendant care. All of these are going to include where we can cook and clean for the patient, we can run errands for the client, we can bathe the client, we can dress the client, we can take the client to the restroom, we can help with transferring assistance, things of that nature. So I've determined my scope of practice. Now I've determined my prices. Now, step 2, I need to figure out exactly what my marketing plan is going to be and what my budget is going to be. So what does that mean? Well, I need to start establishing some relationships within my community. And in order to do that, I need a marketing budget. I need to figure out how much funds I can actually allocate toward building these relationships. Because guess what? You're going to need to give out some gifts, some tokens of love, or some little trinkets like some pens or some notepads or whatever the case may be with your company name on it. You're going to have to go out there and brand yourself, for lack of better words. Well, after I've done that, I now need to figure out what is my target market. Am I going to market toward expecting moms, new moms, senior citizens, disabled individuals, pediatrics? These are questions that I'm going to have to figure out before I can actually go out into this market and hit the ground running. So now the last point that I want to bring up to you guys in order to have a successful marketing plan is when that first referral comes in. You put in all of these efforts to bring in the clientele. Now it's finally coming in. So exactly what do you do from here? What I would highly recommend is don't panic first off. Everything is going to be okay. This is a moment to be excited, a moment to be joyous because your hard work is finally paying off. You can finally see the fruits of your labor being put forth. You finally see all of these clients coming through the door, which guess what that means? Revenue. Yay! So, exactly what do you do when you get your first clients call your office? Well, you want to have a conversation with them. You want to gather some general information. Gather demographic information. Find out where they live. Find out their age. Find out their diagnosis. Find out what services it is they're interested in. Find out what they're looking for in an agency or in a potential caregiver or a homemaker, if you will, or an attendant care, if you will. Tell them you want to come out and meet them. Do a meet and greet. A meet and greet is always important in this industry because you have to know what you're walking into. You need to go out and physically put eyes on this patient. Now, I know that we've been through COVID and I know there's been COVID restrictions, so obviously you want to go into the client's home with your PPE, but it is very, very important that you put your eyes on the client. You want to figure out exactly what the client needs are, what kind of aid or caregiver you can send into this client's home, and how you're going to staff this patient. What kind of hours do they need? What kind of, that goes back into the services. So you figured out the services they want. What's their schedule? How many days a week? How many hours per day? Do they want a male caregiver? Do they want a female caregiver? Do they prefer someone younger? Do they prefer someone more seasoned? These are all options that I give to my potential clients because it gives them a sense of authority or a sense of control. And that is very important when it comes to your clients. Your clients want to feel as if they are in control of the care that they are receiving in their home. And guess what? They are. Give them options, okay? If you do that, that will ensure success on your part, and it will minimize staffing issues on your part. Staffing issues can be a nightmare, and that is something that you definitely want to overcome in the very beginning. And how do you do that? You do that by providing options to your clients. Give your clients options. Also, another important key point, when you're going in and you're getting this client scheduled, it is very important that you find out, even though you may know how many hours they need per day, it is very important that you figure out, do they prefer mornings, afternoons, or evenings to receive their care. I wouldn't necessarily pinpoint an actual hour, like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. I would just break it into morning shift, afternoon shift, or evening shift, or night shift, because that's going to give you just a little bit of that leeway that you may need when it comes to staffing this client. You may have a potential aide that may not be able to get to them until 9 o'clock in the morning. Well, guess what? If you ask them what particular time block they want and they say mornings, you fall within the range of what the client wants. But if you ask the client what hour and they say, well, I need somebody here at 7:30 in the morning, but this aide that you have in mind that would be perfect for this client's wants, desires, and needs may not be able to start the shift until 9 o'clock in the morning, well, guess what? Now you've run into staffing issues because you have allowed that client to give you an exact hour that they need care rather than a time block throughout the day, morning, afternoon, evening, night. That is the mentality that you should go into when you have meet and greets with these clients. Ask them, do you prefer mornings, afternoons, evenings, or nights? Because then that gives you as the agency, or you as a staffing coordinator or staffing manager or scheduler, flexibility to staff that client. So once again, when your first referral comes in, don't panic. Go out and meet the client, but before going out and meeting that client, just get some general information about the client so that you have an idea of what you're about to walk into. Go out and put eyes on that client. Sign the client up for services with the contracts that you have in place or the new admission paperwork that your agency has in place. Get the client all signed up for services. Allow them the opportunity to meet the caregiver that you have in mind for them. And remember, they may not like the first caregiver, so always have a plan B, a plan C, and maybe even a plan D and F, because you know what? That particular client may go through a couple of meet and greets with a couple of caregivers before they find what they feel like in their heart is the right one for their home and their care. Once again, you do want to give your client the ability to have say-so, the ability to have authority, and the ability to have control in the kind of care that they are receiving in their home. If you do this, you will have a successful outcome. So thank you guys once again for listening to all 4 of my marketing plan YouTube videos. I hope you have taken all 4 of these simple steps and applied them to your day-to-day operations to be a successful agency. I wish you guys well. You guys take care. Continue to like, subscribe, and follow my page. See you later. Bye.